I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Shit on my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused on dangerous, down wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need the bag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. What's a family? You do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the option. Woo! Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo!
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to UFC Vegas 56 Best Bet. We have Alexander Volkov going against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We have 14 fights to talk about. Yeah, looking forward to it after a week off. I am here, as always, with Wheezy. Narco Cop Herrig will not be joining us today, but Wheezy, how you feeling today?
Just got up about a half hour ago, ready for fight day here. Got a dog to walk after this, and I got a couple errands to run, so I think I'm going to miss like the first two fights of the night, but this is always fun, these early cards. You know, it's nice being done by like 7 o'clock, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I've got some big bets, and looking forward to chopping it up with you guys.
Sounds good. Narco, how you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. A lot of shit going on in the house. As you can see behind me, it's completely empty. I'm getting ready to make a move, but always grinding that UFC stuff. So, yeah, I'm ready to go.
For sure, me as well. We have a lot to talk about, guys. Before we get started, if you can leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I also linked down Wheezy and Narco Cop's channel as well. And I also linked down the link to the MMA Engine. Go check that out and go subscribe over there. Let's quickly shout out the chat before we get started. We got Ron, first one in here, DXJC. We got Lou Betcha hanging out, SKD. We got Brandon in the chat, PSSA, Quaver, Jeremiah, the Amsterdam, Blaze Towns fans, SKD, Chris, Mr. Jingles, Lil Sil. Thank you all for hanging out 1 hour prior to the prelims. So I say we get into it, and we will start with the first fight of the night. We have Aaron Blanchfield going against JJ Aldrich. Wheezy, we'll let you kick this one off. What are you liking for this first fight of the night?
Yeah, so on probability on Thursday night, we talked about this one, Brady, about the fight goes to decision here. Sitting around minus 230 on FanDuel. When I look at the prop template for this fight, we see that between Blanchfield and Aldrich in their UFC experience, that they've got 12 UFC fights and only one of them has finished inside the distance. 11 of 12 combined have went to decision. That's 91.7% of their fights. Right now at a minus 230, we're playing about a 70% implied probability for two ladies who have went to decision 11 out of 12 times in their 12 UFC fights. So I think it's a good spot. Aldrich has never been, I think she's been finished maybe once in her career. No, it's actually twice, but only once at the UFC level. So like this one, going the full 15, and you can parlay it with another time prop that you like. So I'm picking the fight goes for this one.
Sounds good. Looks like minus 225 on DraftKings. It looks like it's got hit actually minus 250. For me, I'm going to go with kind of the same thoughts there. I'm going to go with Blanchfield by decision, minus 150. There's no way I would touch the money line. What is it? Minus 450. So it has came down a little bit, minus 435. It was like minus 600 earlier in the week. So it has came down a little bit as it should. It should be closer than the line does indicate, but I do think Blanchfield will be able to get the takedowns and grind out a decision here. Rather than laying minus 500 on Blanchfield, minus 150, I feel like is a lot better option there. So give me Blanchfield by decision, minus 150. I think it's a great way to improve that crazy price tag. Narco, what are you liking for this fight here?
I don't really like anything, but for my best bet, I'm going to give you Aldrich by decision plus 650. I think this line's kind of a little overblown. Minus 500, minus 435, 550 on Blanchfield. I know that comes because of recency bias after what she did to Miranda Maverick. But Aldridge is kind of competent on the ground. She's not like a fish out of water. I think she's a brown belt in BJJ. Has like a 75% takedown defense. Honestly, when you watch her fight, she's kind of like slouched over, like waiting for the shots, especially in her last fight against Jillian Robertson. So she's very careful when it comes to being taken down. Not to say that Blanchfield's not going to get takedowns. I just, when you look at this line goes to decision and it's minus 250, you have a side that's minus 550. It seems to be off. Like why? How can you lay 550 on someone when the fight's going to decision at that big of a clip? When these people cover these minus 550 lines, it's mostly by finish. It's not when the fight goes to decision. So with that being said, I like Aldrich by decision here. She's probably going to lose, but I mean, you're getting a nice price tag.
You're getting a really juicy price tag there, plus 650. Yeah, I totally agree. I think the line is going to be much closer than it does indicate there. But we'll move on to the next fight. We have Renat Fakhretdinov going against Andreas Michailidis. I'll kick this one off. So I do like the Fakhretdinov side. I don't like the minus 275, but I think a great way to improve that is going to be the minus 110 on Fakhretdinov to win inside the distance. I think early on it's going to be very competitive. But Michailidis does slow down a lot as the fight goes on. He's been finished in all of his losses. I think all 5 or 6, all by knockout. I think Fakhretdinov kind of grinds it out and finishes him late there. I think the 2-3 round sprinkles are live, but I'm going to go with Fakhretdinov minus 110 inside the distance there. Wheezy, what do you like over this fight here?
So the second half, or like the second third of the probability parlay, which the first leg was over 2.5 for Blanchfield Aldrich. The second leg is fight doesn't go to decision for Fakhretdinov Michailidis. And the reason for that is that 32 of their 37 combined fights between Fakhretdinov and Michailidis have finished inside the distance. That's 86.5% over a very large sample size. And we've seen Michailidis finished in all 5 of his professional losses. The guy's conditioning is absolutely terrible. And we've got them both cutting down to 170 pounds for the first time in their career. We're probably going to have a little bit of a conditioning disadvantage for both of them today due to that weight cut that they've never made before. And you get the chinniness that goes along with cutting a lot of fluid, and the fact that these guys are finishers for and against. So loving the fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at minus 200. I max bet it earlier in the week at minus 115. Might arb out a little bit to just to reduce my risk a little bit, but as of right now, it's a tracked bet, 5 units, minus 115. Fight doesn't go to decision.
Sounds good. Yeah, like you said, it has moved to minus 200. It's still like minus 170 on 5 dimes. Narco, what do you like over this fight here?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other end. I like the over 1.5. It's minus 145. Fakhretdinov just is not very good on tape, man. When he wrestles, he gets people down. He really doesn't have any ground and pound. He's laying in guard a lot. On the feet, he's pretty sloppy when it comes to striking. He does have power, but when you look at this guy, like all the vibes give me, it's fraudulent vibes. I mean, he's fighting guys, 19 fights into his career, a 3-3 guy, 18 fights in his career, 1-1 guy, 17 fights in his career, making his pro debut 2 times in a row. Like, what the heck is going on with this guy? And then when he fights like a guy like Eric Splicely, who's completely washed, I don't know, man. Like, I think Michailidis he's gassy, but he's the more skilled fighter here. Renata is just not skilled at all. And I think he's going to be able to survive this. I even like Michailidis' money line. I played it at plus 235 as a small bet. But yeah, I mean, I'm fading this Renat guy, basically. You're on mute, Brady.
I was just saying, like, why not? Like, I don't know why Fakhretdinov is minus 275. Maybe it's because on paper he's like 20-2. maybe people are just trying to fade Michailidis, but you're laying a huge price tag there. So yeah, I do not hate the dog shot as well. And Lou Betcha also in the chat said like Michailidis round 1 KO plus 1,500. I think that's live as well. So we'll move on to the next fight. We have Jeff Molina going against Zhalgas Sumagulov. Narco, I'll stick with you. What do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I'm on the Zhalgas side here. I have a money line bet on him at plus 165. I still like it at plus 155. But the best prop I like is the best overall bet I like is Zhalgas by decision. I think you can get plus 330 or 300-ish. So the guy is mostly a decision fighter. He wins by decision for the most part. Molina is there to be hit, can be taken down. I think that's the key there. Like Zhalgas can strike, and then when he strikes, he can shoot for those takedowns. And I think he's going to be able to get takedowns here on the feet. I do favor Molina because he has the volume, but he's not very good defensively. He does get cracked a lot. He got cracked against Aori a lot. And Zhalgas has decent head movement when he's coming into the pocket. So for me, I like the Zhalgas side. Zhalgas by decision plus 300, I think, is a solid bet here.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm just going to go with the fight goes to decision. I don't have any action on this fight. I think Molina probably does win, but the line is obviously too wide there. Just give me the fight goes to decision minus 174. I think it's very back and forth. I think it's very competitive. Instead of picking a winner, I'm just going to take the fight goes here at that price tag. Wheezy, what are you looking here for this fight?
Yeah, I don't have a bet on this fight. I'm just going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to bet it. But I when I looked at this fight and I was trying to figure out what to play, Zhalgas by decision at plus 300 makes a lot of sense. Like everything that Narco said, this guy is a decisionator. And, Molina's tough, and Molina's got a serious chin on him too. So I kind of figure if this is a close fight, you'd much rather be holding that plus money ticket on the Zhumagulov side. And if that's the case, Zhumagulov by a decision at plus 300, that's a 25% implied probability. I think there's a nice edge over the books at that line. So that would be the way I'd play it, but I don't have a bet on this fight, and I'm not betting against my guy El Jefe, in real life, but it's probably the bet. If somebody put a gun to my head, that's the bet I'd make.
Yeah, I feel it. Not too interested in betting this fight, but I do have a bet on the next fight. We have Tony Gravely going against Johnny Munoz Jr. We will start with you, Narco. What are you liking here for this fight?
I like the Munoz side. Munoz inside the distance, plus 225. Gravely just makes a ton of mistakes. He sticks his head in there. He's looking to get choked, and Munoz is going to do him that favor, and he's going to choke him out. Because when you look at Gravely, yeah, he's been submitted by high-level submission grapplers. But the reason why he's not getting submitted by these other guys is because they're really not that high level. Like Simon Oliveira had deep guillotines on him. Anthony Burchek, who's a BJJ black belt, but I still favor Munoz over him as far as the submission grappling is concerned. But then you look, against Brett Johns, Patchy Mix, Bermudez, Bandejas, he gets subbed by these guys. And guess what? Johnny Munoz is on that level. I mean, the guy's very, very skilled on the ground. And once Tony Gravely gets pressured, which is what Munoz does, he comes forward, he's going to shoot the takedown. He always does, every fight with no failure. And he's going to stick his neck in there. And I think Johnny Munoz is going to get the sub. So with that, I like the inside the distance just in case Johnny gets on top at some point and rains down some blows.
Yep, sounds good. I went with the inside the distance earlier in the week, and yeah, I agree with everything you said. Munoz is going to have 15 minutes to lock something up. You watch a Gravely fight, and it seems like every single fight, whether he's winning or he's losing, he's getting himself into these very bad spots. And some fights he gets out, some fights he doesn't. He's been submitted 5 times. Munoz is going to be very live for a sub here, and then also. Gravely's takedown defense thus far has not looked that great. Like, what happens if Munoz is able to get on top? I think Gravely can be in big trouble. And then also the cardio issues of Gravely. I think Munoz by sub, Munoz inside the distance are all very, very live. And looks like the money line is closing up. Minus 105 Munoz, minus 115 Gravely, because it's a very close fight. It really is. So, I'm more on the Munoz side myself. I like Munoz to lock something up at some point. And, yeah, getting pretty solid odds there. Wheezy, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I don't have a bet on this fight either. But I do think Munoz by submission is very live, but I would have much preferred to get it earlier in the week when it was sitting around -3 or +300. I think it's +270 is the best that you can find right now. And if you think that that's the way that he's going to win this fight, it's not a bad bet. But I'm going to go the other way and just say that there's been a ton of money coming in here on Munoz, and Gravely has got the much better stand-up, and he's much more experienced and fought the better brand of competition here. I think he knows that he needs to keep this fight standing, and if he does, I think he can win this fight. It's almost a pick-em right now on Bet Online, and Gravely opened around -160. So Gravely money line at -115 is probably the way I would play this one.
Yeah, if he does not get caught in a sub, he's going to look like a big favorite. But yeah, can't wait for that fight. One of the most exciting fights on the card for me. We'll move on to the next fight, which is a fight I want absolutely nothing to do with. We have Munoz Saint Denis going against Nicholas Stoltza. Wheezy, we'll start with you. What do you like in here?
Yeah, man, I think I would just go with the Stoltza money line here at +145. Benoit Saint Denis, I don't know if he's ready for this level yet. I mean, he looked good on the regional scene, looked really good in UAE Warriors. And I don't know if he was fighting, or I think it was Brave. Either way, I think he was fighting at 165 his last two fights in Brave. Good grappler, good wrestler, not great striker, but Stoltza will be the better striker here. Stoltza has definitely fought and beaten the better brand of competition. So at +145, I think that Stoltza is going to be very live. Loved his performance against Ramazan Ameev. It was a great fight, and Stoltza definitely had his moments in that fight. And I don't rate Saint Denis' wrestling and top control and ability to just be able to grind out minutes on the cage as well as Ameev. So I think that if he's not able to do what Ameev did to him, I think that Stoltz is going to come out on the other end of this one with his hand raised. So at +145 on Bet Online, that's the way I play this one.
+145, Stoltza money line. Narco, what are you liking for this one here?
Yeah, I'm right there with him with the Stoltza money line. Saint Denis seems like he's strong. He can grapple, but he makes mistakes on the ground. Like he got reversed a couple of times in that Saeed fight. And everybody's describing how tough this guy is, but that beating that he took last fight and coming back, 8 months later, like that's a severe beating he took, man. And I'm not going to be shocked if Stoltz knocks this dude out after that beating. I'm just saying, we've seen it more than once. It's just it's hard to come back. That's one of the worst beatings I've ever seen in the ring, honestly, over a 15-minute span. And I don't know, man. Saint Denis only been fighting MMA for 3 years. Stoltz has been in Syndicate for the last year. He's been training at Syndicate. I think that's going to help him improve. And I also believe that he's been perfecting this 155 cut for about a year now. He even did a mock cut like a couple of months ago where he cut to 55. So I think he's very comfortable here now. And I think he's going to have the edge at 55. So give me Stoltz here at the money line.
Yep, we'll make it 3 for 3. I'm not betting it though. I mean, I don't get this line. I've been watching it. I don't know what he's done to warrant being this big of a favorite. Even you watch his fights outside the UFC, he still looks very green. He's getting reversed a ton. He's submission over position. He's sloppy on the mat. But I'm not overly confident in Nicholas Stoltz. I'm not overly confident in him even being UFC caliber as well. So this is kind of a pass fight for me. If I was forced to bet it, it would clearly be on the dog there at +145 on Nicholas Stoltz. Move on to, we have the biggest favorite on the card here. You have Damon Jackson going against Daniel Argueta. I'll kick this one off. For me, I mean, nothing really sticks out for a prop, honestly. I think Damon Jackson is the clear favorite for a reason. I'm just going to go with the Damon Jackson money line as a parlay piece, -675. It's very juiced, but I just don't want to mess around with the props here. I can see Damon Jackson winning by knockout. I could see him winning by submission. I can see him winning by decision, but I am pretty confident in him winning today. Argueta coming in on short notice, up a weight class, not a good look against a guy in Damon Jackson. And Jackson just going to be better everywhere. He's going to be the much better striker, the much better grappler, the much better conditioning. I think Damon Jackson should roll here, but again, I don't really want to mess around with the props. I can see a sub, KO, or a decision as well. So Damon Jackson, parlay piece, I think he gets it done this week. Narco, anything sticking out to you on this one?
Yeah, actually, there's one prop that sticks out. It's Jackson by KO +950. I could see him get like positionally on top and just rain down blows on this guy. And He's going to be the bigger guy. Argueta's moving up a weight class. Argueta taking this on short notice. Damon Jackson's known for good cardio and pushing that pace. And he's going to be the bigger guy, man. I think he's just going to break Argueta. I have a pretty big bet on the fight doesn't go at minus 180. Kind of covering both sides just in case Argueta lands something big because he does throw with a ton of power. But, I think Jackson rolls here pretty easily. So I like that KO prop.
Yep, KO plus 950. That is very juicy compared to the sub, which is around plus 100. So I like it. Wheezy, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I didn't see that KO prop. That's insane. I might bet that because Jackson does have good stand-up. Jackson has won 3 fights in his career by knockout. 15% of his wins are by knockout, while 75% of them are by submission. So for every 1 knockout win, he gets 5 submission wins, but that's all right. You're paying 100 for the submission and you're paying plus 950. So, you are getting a little bit of value on that KO prop. The way that I was going to play it, though, and I'm not betting this. I'm just saying Damon Jackson, when he does lose, he's been finished 100% of the time inside the distance. So why not take a shot on Argueta inside the distance plus 900? But that Jackson KO prop, I feel, is a lot more likely because, like Narco said, he could get on top of him, positionally KO him. So I think I'll actually tail Narco Cop on the plus 950 KO prop.
Yeah, that's very juicy. I think it's very much on the table as well. We'll keep moving on here. We have Alex De Silva going against Joe Salecki. Wheezy, we'll stick with you. Anything you like on this fight here?
Yeah, the only thing that really stuck out for this one, I don't have a bet on it, but I was going to say Joe Salecki by decision, not Joe Salecki by submission, because the thing about De Silva is I just don't like the conditioning. And I think that as the fight goes on, if he's unable to get takedowns or keep it on the feet if he wants it there, that Salecki's going to be able to get on that neck and maybe find a submission there. So plus 320 right now on FanDuel is how I would play this fight, but I don't have a bet on it, and I don't plan on betting it.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for me to call because I think Alex De Silva has all the tools to win this fight. I think he's, the much better striker. I think he can get takedowns and stay safe on top. We saw Jim Miller and Gordon be able to get on top of Salecki, and Salecki does not have much of a get-up game on the bottom. But like you said, it's the conditioning that's kind of driving me away from betting this. But I'm gonna pick De Silva for the upset. He's been off for 2 years. He's a young guy. Hopefully, he comes in here with some improvements. But I have not seen those improvements yet, and the conditioning really scares me away. So I'm not betting this fight. But if I was to, it would be a shot on De Silva. But yeah, I think Salecki by submission is also a good look at plus 320. If De Silva does slow down, I think the sub's gonna be very live. The second round, third round for Salecki especially is going to be very live as well. But I'll take De Silva's for an upset there. Narco, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I like the over 2.5. It's minus 140. I think both guys are pretty durable. Both guys are tough. I know De Silva got caught against Yakovlev, but the dude is tough. Went toe-to-toe with Brad Riddell. He does seem to make some mistakes on the ground, which is a little scary against Salecki. But outside of that, man, like Salecki's a tough dude too. I just don't think either one of these guys is going to get stopped. And I think this fight goes to decision. So over 2.5 for me, minus 140 is my best bet.
Sounds good. Makes sense to me. We'll keep moving on. We have the people's main event. We have Karolina Kovakovic going against Felice Herrig. Wheezy, we'll kick it off for you. What are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, best bet is that your Uncle Wheezy comes to beat you with a sack of oranges until I juice him. And then while you're on the ground, internally bleeding, screaming in pain, I will drink that juice in front of you. That's the bet. I'm not betting this fight. You shouldn't either. Clint from the Die Hard MMA podcast, watch out for a knock on your door, nephew. Your Uncle Wheezy's coming to see you.
Yeah, I saw Clint bet. He bet Herrig, right? He bet Felice Herrig.
Yeah, I don't care what side he bet. That's the point. He could have bet Kovakovic. It would have been the same damn outcome. Him in a whole lot of pain. I mean, do I have to do this in front of his daughter, in front of his wife, in front of his family? I mean, come on, Clint. Just cash in the bet and stop it. Don't make me do this.
Yeah, I don't know. So if on this show you're forced to pick a bet though, so what are you going with?
Oh God, how about the draw?
Oh, you took mine. You took mine.
Yeah. Well, it's the only bet. It's the only possible bet, man. Let's go draw plus 6,000. Let's go with that.
All right, yeah, I went with the same thing. I think they're both so bad that I think the judges are going to score for either fighter. You can root for fence grabs, grind shots, all that good stuff. This fight is a complete mess. If I was giving an actual pick, I don't. I'm actually not. Actually, this is a very tough fight. Question marks on both sides. You have Felice Herrig, 37 years old, 2-year layoff, multiple injuries, multiple surgeries, and then you have Caroline, who's looked like complete garbage the last five fights. So I'm gonna take the draw plus 6,600. I think why not? Instead of actually betting this fight legitimately. Narco, are you liking anything on this fight here?
Well, I want nothing to do with this fight, but I'll give you guys a play that I really like that I actually played. It's fight ends in split decision.
Yeah.
It's plus 350. When these ladies fought last time, it was a split, right? Herrig, I believe, has gone to like 5 split decisions. KK has gone to 4 split decisions. This fight is mainly going to be a stand-up fight. You guys mentioned it's going to be sloppy, close. You mentioned all the things of a split decision. So why not get, plus? It was plus 380 I got, but now it's plus 350. I still think this fight is going to be extremely close, and you're getting a nice plus number.
Yeah, and especially considering like the fight goes to decisions minus 300. And if it goes to decision, it is a good chance it's a split. So I think that is a solid way to play it. The split, the draw, I feel like those are both very alive there. All right, we'll keep moving on, though. We have Ode Osborne going against Zaruk Adashev. We'll start with you, Weezy. What do you like for this fight here?
So I'm looking at the prop template right now. The fight doesn't go to decision at minus 125. Doesn't look that bad to me. 5 of these guys, 8 combined UFC fights have finished inside the distance, 62.5%. That's about a 7% edge over the line. And then if we look at the career, it's 15 of their 22 combined fights have finished inside the distance. So for Ode Osborne, it's 11 of 15. So the guy is a finisher for and against. I do think that for 125 pounds, we're overpaying a little bit for the violence bet here, but I could see Adashev landing a bunch of low leg kicks that could really give Osborne problems. And I could see Osborne mixing in the grappling, getting to some of these submission attempts that he's been very successful getting in his career and having some success against Adashev on the ground. So at minus 125 for the fight doesn't go, that would probably be my safest way to play this one, but I don't have a bet on this fight.
Yeah, I went with the same thing. The fight doesn't go minus 125. I think it's Osborne early or Zaruk late. Zaruk does have some good power in his own right, and Osborne's very hittable, 42% strike and defense. I think Zaruk's really live for a knockout, really any point in this fight, but especially late. I think the Zaruk third round prop's very alive, and I think the Ode first round prop is very alive. I think if Ode Osborne decides to go out here and grapple, I think he'll have a big advantage. He's going to have an 8-inch reach advantage, and I think the knockout could be live for him as well. So I think just cover both sides. Their fight isn't a good decision, minus 125. I think somebody's get finished here, whether it's Osborne early or Adashev late there. Narco, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I mean, I just bet it this morning because I was waiting for the line to go up. I took Adashev plus 185. I liked them all week. I just figured this line kept moving up and people kept betting Osborne. I'm like, why am I going to take it early? I'll wait to fight day and people will start, maybe parlaying Ode Osborne some more. It's just that, I know you guys mentioned grappling, but the guy just doesn't do it, man. Like he's pretty big for the division. I think his weight cuts are pretty rough. And I think one of the reasonings of why when you look at his fights, he's slowing down in the third round almost every fight, right? And he's not really grappling. So I think he knows that if he starts proactively grappling early, his gas tank will just go to E pretty quick. So that's one of my reasonings of why this guy doesn't grapple. So with that being said, in a striking affair, like Adashev is a very good striker, glory kickboxer. He's going to have the cardio advantage. And I'm getting a nice plus number. If this is on the feet, it's going to be very competitive. And I think Adashev pulls away late.
Yep, sounds good to me. I don't hate it. I'm definitely not running to the window to lay minus 200 on Osborne, I'll tell you that. We'll move on to the next fight. We have my main event. I have 12 bets on this card, 12 bets on this card, and 4 of them come on this very fight here. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but really like this fight. We have Alonzo Minifield going against Askar Nazarov. Narco, will stick with you. What are you liking for this fight here?
I like violence, man. I don't know if this fight is going to make it out of the first round. I have a huge bet on the under 1.5. The line has gone. It's gone now. But what I would bet right here is fight doesn't start round 2. It's minus 120. I don't think the fight's starting round 2. Like Nazarov is a quitter. He's a cheater. You can call him all names in the book. I mean, this guy went from 25-7 to 19-12 in like 4 days. Like, how does that happen? Because the freaking guy was hiding his wins or he was cheating his wins and freaking hiding his losses. So with that being said, when you watch his tape, man, he's just very fraudulent. He complained of an arm injury 2 different times where he's tapped his strikes. And he said, oh, my arm is hurting when it was probably not hurting. And he just wanted out of the fight. And he has a retirement in his fucking one of his losses. This guy's a fraud. I'm sorry. Minifield, I mean, you can call him whatever you want. The guy's at least semi-tough. He went to war in a couple of his fights. I haven't seen that out of Nazarov at all. The times that he goes to war, he quits. So Minifield here, I mean, fight doesn't start round 2. Round 1 KO on Minifield is not bad either. I'm just all over the under here.
Yep, I am as well. I bet the under earlier in the week at minus 165. I also bet Minifield earlier in the week at minus 151. Money has, of course, come in on Minifield after some articles have been released about Nazarov. But yeah, I went with the same thing here. So the under 1.5 is currently like minus 260 on BetOnline. Looks like minus 215 on FanDuel. Just the fight won't start round 2. I think Nazarov is going to have an opportunity very early on, first 30 seconds, to land a knockout shot. If not, I kind of see the same thing. I see him quitting. I see Minifield either knock him out or Minifield taking him down, and then Nazarov either tapping to strikes, tapping in general. Nazarov 8 finish losses by submission, 4 by knockout, and this is going to be the best fighter he's fought by a mile. It's not even close. So yeah, Minifield should run right through this guy. Nazarov, his record's fake. He faked his name, I heard as well. I don't even know if his tattoos are real at this point, but Minifield should run right through him, I think. Wheezy, what was your favorite bet on this fight here?
Yeah, so I bet earlier in the week, I got it at plus 100. I got 1.5 units on the Minifield inside the distance prop. Any kind of violence prop should absolutely work out in this fight. But Minifield by submission in round 1 was plus 950 earlier in the week. Then it went to plus 900. Now it's plus 850. If he taps the strikes, which he's done before because he's a quitter, that counts as a submission. So at plus 850 at this point, I think that's probably the way to go. But I think if you're just being safe, it's still minus 150 Minifield inside the distance. And I mean, if he wins this fight, it's inside the distance. This guy Nazarov has never even seen a third round, and he might have 50 fights. So at this point, I think you just take Minifield, take him inside the distance. But if you want to get cheeky, that first round submission prop is really fat. And he might be looking to take this guy down simply because he's really small. His grappling is god awful. And Minifield subbed Charant down there very easily. And this guy is not even as big or as skilled as Charant. And that's saying that Fabio Charant, one of the worst 205ers to have fought in this UFC, 0-5 in the UFC, I believe. So, and I think Charant would kick this dude's ass. I really do. So, yeah, you got to go with Minifield here. It's Uncle Wheezy's ass shaving of the week. And, this is going to be fun to watch.
Sounds good. Somebody in the chat said that BetMGM still has Minifield wins inside the distance at minus 130. It looks like it's minus 190 and stuff on DraftKings and BetOnline. But, yeah, I think Minifield, he should be ashamed of himself if he loses this guy, honestly. And I don't know. I feel like he's getting cut. Nazarov, either way, whether he wins or loses, like there's no way the UFC is going to keep him after all the information that's came out all week. But it should be a hilarious fight for as long as it lasts. Next, we have Karina Silva going against Poliana Battaglia. Weezy, we'll start with you. What are you liking for this fight here?
So this is one of the ones we gave out on probability. I've got a 1-unit bet at plus 130 for this fight not to go to decision. And it's based on that Karina Silva archetype of fighter that's kill or be killed. Karina Silva, 18 professional fights, 17 of them have finished inside the distance. So she doesn't have much of a gas tank. She is very, very aggressive early in fights. But if she doesn't get you out of there, she gasses out and you can get her out of there. So I think Battaglia round 3, which I think is still sitting around plus 2,000 on FanDuel, is a very interesting little round sprinkle. And I think that fight doesn't go to decision at plus money is the way to play this one. Got 1 unit on it at plus 130.
Yep, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like plus 120, I'm surprised it's still there. Maybe because it's a women's fight. But yeah, Karina Silva is kill or be killed. She's only seen the scorecards one time in her career, 100% finish rate. Her cardio is very bad. I see it being Silva early, Battaglia late here. I think Silva's very live to finish Battaglia early, but if not, Battaglia, good finisher in her own right, has a lot of power, 75% knockout rate for her. Yeah, I like the fight doesn't go, covers both sides there. I think the Silva round 1 sprinkle's good. The Battaglia round 3 sprinkle's good. But yeah, violence as a whole at plus money, why not? Narco, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I mean, it's violence too, but it's a little different. It's Silva by submission plus 500. I mean, this girl throws up a ton of submissions, and Battaglia's stupid, man. Like, her fight IQ is not good. She's the better striker, in my opinion, in this fight, but I can almost guarantee you she's going to, like, go for takedowns, and she's going to put herself in bad positions against the girl that just hunts for arm bars and triangles like a ton, and she's pretty strong, and I just think she goes for it here, and if Battaglia's on top, she might get arm barred in this spot, to be honest.
There you go. Silva by submission. What is the Silva by first round submission? Let me see here. Silva by first round submission plus 1,000.
Ooh, that's juicy.
That's
She
good.
broke C.D. Roach's arm right in half in the first round. She is very, very dangerous early in fights.
It opened up plus 1,300. Nice.
Wow.
There you go. I like
Damn.
that. All right. I like it. So I'll move on to the next fight. We have Michael Trezzano going against Lucas Almeida. And Narco, I'll start with you. What do you like for this fight here?
I mean, it's one of my favorite props of this whole card. It's Almeida by KO plus 800. This fight honestly reminds me of the Brito vibes against Feely, where I bet him by KO at plus 1,200, which was a complete disrespectful line for his KO. Same thing here with Almeida, man. This guy hits with a ton of power. He's dropping down from 55 to 45. At face-offs, he was just as big as Trezzano, if not bigger. I know Trezzano's never been knocked out, but, man, this is the hardest puncher he's ever faced. And when you watch his regional tape, this Almeida guy, even the times he's getting these subs, he's hurting those guys prior to that, like on the feet, where he's, like, hitting them to the body and they're just crumbling. And, you know, the Daniel Zellhuber fight, the only guy that survived the fight, I mean, that guy took an absolute beating in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't think Trezzano's surviving that kind of beating in that first round. So Almeida plus 800 KO just absolutely makes no sense to me. The guy chucks bombs, and I'm going to go with it. I mean, I like that bet at plus 800.
Nice. I like it as well. I think it's a great shot. For me, I'm going to go with Almeida scorecards equals no action, plus 115, which it was plus 130, plus 140 on DraftKings earlier. It's now plus 110 there. But yeah, I still think there's some value there. We have Michael Trezzano with a 44% finish rate. We have Lucas Almeida with a 100% finish rate. Like you said, Narco, this guy hits like an absolute truck. And I just don't see Trezzano really finishing anybody, especially Almeida here. So if this fight does finish, I do think it's on the Almeida side, and you're getting plus money for it at plus 115 still. So I do like that. Yeah, don't mind that Almeida by KO sprinkle. And of course, if you like Trezzano, you probably just play him by decision to improve the price tag. But yeah, scorecards equals no action. This means that if Almeida wins inside the distance, the bet hits. If Trezzano wins inside the distance, the bet loses. And then if it goes to decision, the bet pushes. But yeah, that's my favorite play on this fight at plus money there. Wheezy, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, this is a weird one. I don't really get this line. Trezzano's wins in the UFC have been very, very close fights, you know? So I don't know how you lay minus 240 for a guy who's probably going to decision 8 or 9 times out of 10 when they win, and then trusting the judges with your minus 225 ticket. That's rough. I also do have a bet on this fight. I have a 1-unit bet on the Lucas Almeida finish only prop. I got it at plus 140 earlier in the week. And that KO prop, I didn't even look at that. I might have to bet that as well. Narco Cop's on fire, finding some real value in these prop bets. This guy Almeida hits hard, and he was absolutely right about what Almeida did to Zellhuber in the first round. That was up at 155, you guys. This is at 145, and both of these guys are cutting a decent amount of weight to get that to get down there. And Trezzano used to fight at 155 in the UFC as well. So I think this fight, if Almeida has his way, he gets it done inside the distance. And I just wouldn't want to be holding Trezzano tickets, seeing as that this could go to decision. And I think he's going to lose the first round of this fight. So, yeah, Almeida finish only prop plus 140, and that Almeida KO is way too juicy at 800.
Yep, sounds good to me. And if you like Trezzano, the decision prop, or like a live betting standpoint after the first round, I would not lay minus 225, minus 235 on Michael Trezzano. Should be a very close fight if this fight does go to decision. I'll move on. Look at that. They have Damon Jackson, Derek Minner. Would have loved that. But Dan Ige going against Movsar Evloev. We'll start with you, Narco. What do you like for this co-main event?
God, they're forcing me to bet Ige. I hate myself, but I don't think he can win. Evloev is a great wrestler and stuff, but man, this line is disrespectful. I mean, here's the thing. Like, Evloev, I like him very much as a prospect. He's a very good grappler, yada, yada, yada. But how does it make sense that Evloev is minus 240 against Hakeem Duaru, and now he's minus 450 against Dan Ige? Is that even real? Like, Ige has faced literally the best of the best and lost to the best guys in the division, and now all of a sudden Evloev is minus 455 when this same guy went to split decision against Nick Lentz not long ago. And I don't know, man. Like, I know he's gonna win here, but plus 330 is crazy. I'm gonna take a shot with Dan Ige at plus 330. The guy is tough, he's durable, and I don't think it's going to be just easy and ragdolly for Movsar to ragdoll Dan Ige, because no one's really done that to him. So give me Dan Ige plus 330. Mirsad Bektic, who's a exceptional wrestler, had a hard time keeping Dan Ige down. So, like I said, give me Dan Ige plus 330 at this point.
Yeah, for me, I'm not running to the window to lay minus 400 on Evloev, but I do think there is a much better way to improve that price tag. It's going to be Evloev by decision. I got it at minus 150 earlier in the week. It's still minus 165, and again, it's a lot better than laying minus 360 on the guy at this point because, like you said, Narco, he's faced not the best competition. Nick Lentz, gassed out Mike Grundy, Sungwoo Choi. He's not been able to finish these guys. Is he going to be able to go out there and finish Dan Ige, who I believe is a black belt, who's never been knocked out, very tough. He's eaten a bunch of hard shots from very hard hitters like Josh Emmett, Calvin Cater, Edson Barbosa, and has not went down. I just don't see Evloev knocking him out. I don't see Evloev submitting him. I think if you like Evloev, just no point in laying the money line. Why not get the Evloev by decision at a much, much better price tag of minus 165? So that's what I like. Wheezy, what do you like for this coming event?
Yeah, same thing, man. Evloev by decision. I've got it in my greasy four-legger that I gave out on Just the Tip on Tuesday. Got in there at minus 150. Yeah, look, Ige, you need a shovel and a gun to finish this guy. So I don't think Evloev is finishing him. He's got 5 wins in the UFC, does Evloev. Every single one of them is by decision. So the fact that Ige's never been finished as a pro and that Evloev has never finished anybody in the UFC tells me the best way to get some more value on Evloev is just to say, all right, I'm not paying minus 425 in the money line. I'll just take him by decision at minus 160 and save myself a good amount of implied probability there and a good amount of investment in order to get that 1 unit back. So, yeah, we can either lay 4.25 units to win 1, or we could lay 1.6 units to win 1, and that's what I'm going to do. Lay 1.6 to win 1. Say Evloev by decision minus 160.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the best way to play it. We have the main event here. Before we get into it, guys, if you guys can leave a like, subscribe. Also, go subscribe to Wheezy and Narco Cop. The links are down below. And also go subscribe to the MMA Engine YouTube channel. Lots of good stuff going on over there. But we have Jairzinho Rozenstruik going against Alexander Volkov. And we'll start with you, Narco. What do you like for this main event here?
Actually, there's something that stuck out to me on this. It's Rozens Strike finish only. It's minus 135. I think he has most of the finishing upside here. I don't think Volkov's going to finish Rozenstruik. He's pretty tough, durable guy. The only guys that have really finished him are big hitters. I think all the finishing upside is on Rozenstruik's side. He's a quicker guy. Volkov seems to be slowing down now at this point in his career. And like I said, I mean, this guy's tough, man. The one guy that's stopped him is Ngannou, and that's about it. Like, I think he has all the power here, and if he lands on Volkov's chin, he's putting anybody out because Rozenstruik hits very, very hard. So, yeah, finish only for Rozenstruik is -135 on DraftKings. I like that play quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's -175 on BetOnline, -155 on 5 dimes there. FanDuel did have it like -108. It's now -150. What'd you say was on DraftKings again?
-135 right now.
-135. Yeah, I still do like that. That's my only bet on this main event here is that scorecards equals no action for Rozenstruik. I think if there is a finish in this fight, it's definitely more likely it's going to be Rozenstruik. Not saying Volkov can't knock him out, but if you do like Rozenstruik, the KO is probably the best way to look. The KO is currently +215 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I like that. I like the scorecards equals no action. If you like Volkov, they have that 4-5 decision I saw on FanDuel like around +140. I think that's a good look as well. But yeah, I think Rozenstruik's going to be very live at some point to find a knockout. 25 minutes to do it. Small cage. Give me that scorecards equals no action there. Wheezy, what are you liking for the main event?
Yeah, I also bet Rozenstruik scorecards equals no action earlier in the week, 1.15 units at -115. Like that bet, but I also like the fight doesn't go to decision here. And there's money coming in on the fight goes as we speak. You can get fight doesn't go to decision at -135 right now. In terms of implied probability, that is, just give me a second here. Because this particular line at -135, the implied probability is 57.45%. Over a very big sample size of 5-round UFC heavyweight fights, we've seen 47 of 60 of them finish inside the distance. That's 78.33%. And we're paying 57.45%, like a 21% edge over that benchmark at -135. So that's going to be the one I give you guys. Fight doesn't go to decision at -135 here. I think it's a great analytics bet. Heavyweight fights just don't go to the scorecards that often when they were 5 rounds. So you're going to be on the right side of that. And Rozenstruik in the small cage is going to be hunting down Volkov. I think he knocks out Volkov in the second round, but I think the fight doesn't go is a great way to play this at -135.
Yeah, and it looks like the fight ends in KOs now -115, so that's interesting as well. So before we get out of here, we'll answer a couple questions. We have a couple minutes, guys. If you have any questions in the chat, just type them in there. This is probably a good one for you, Narco. George saying, anyone here thinking JJ Aldrich is being massively undervalued?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think it's recency bias on Erin Blanchfield, and she should be the favorite. She's probably going to win, but that price is a crazy tag to pay.
Yeah, and then he's also saying, is there spaces tonight?
Yep, there is spaces tonight.
All right.
Well, not tonight. Actually, in 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Go check out Narco on the spaces there. Let's see here. Chaz saying over 3.5 rounds in the main event. The over 3.5 rounds is sitting at -140. I mean, I wouldn't personally, because I feel like either of these guys are live to finish at any point. Wheezy, any interest in the over 3.5 at like -140?
I don't think I'm going to be touching the time props for the main event, just because I think that Rozenstruik is one of those type of fighters that you just don't play the time props. You either go with the Rozenstruik KO or the Volkov by decision, and I mean Rozenstruik can land that bomb at any time, and because of that, it just kind of makes me stay away from the time props.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And then he's saying, "Oi, Wheezy just missed just a tip earlier. What was the Greasy 4-legger?" Okay,
so the Greasy 4-legger this week was, I believe, fight doesn't go to decision for the main event. Evloev by decision. I think we had the Silva Battaglia fight doesn't go to decision, and minifield inside the distance. So that's the 4 legs. Minifield inside the distance. Evloev by decision. Silva Battaglia fight doesn't go to decision. And Volkov Rozenstruik fight doesn't go to decision. On Tuesday, they came out to +942. It'll probably be somewhere around +800 today because some of those lines have moved.
Okay, sounds good. Patrick saying most likely dog to win. I guess we can give our favorite dog. There's a couple that really stick out this week. I think it's a tough one between. I think Stoltza is very live, and I also think Johnny Munoz Jr. is very, very live. That's probably my favorite two. Weezy, do you have a favorite dog that sticks out this week?
Rozenstruik and Lucas Almeida to me, they both stick out in terms of underdogs, and I like Stoltza as well.
And then Narco, how about you?
Yeah, I like the Z guys. So I like Zaruk and I like Zalgas.
I like it. And then Mr. Jingle saying Lambo Parlay, Jackson KO, minifield submission round 1. That's probably some good odds there. Narco, any thoughts on that?
It is a Lambo parlay. I just don't know. It's a pretty crazy one.
Yeah, that's violence, man. All 4 first-round finishes, and in some fights where you could see some first-round finishes. Damon Jackson, finisher. Nazarov's a fraud. Silva gets a bunch of first-round finishes. Almeida is an absolute monster in those first 5 minutes. Plus 50,000? I like it, dude.
There you go. There you go.
I like $2 to win a Lambo.
I like it. Now that is definitely a Lambo play. But yeah, I think we'll head out of here now. Yeah, I think we're good. So we'll kick it around. Weezy, let the people know where they can find you. What do you have going on throughout the week? I know we're back on tomorrow for Stat Diggers for a big card, UFC 275.
Yeah, already got all the stats ready for next week. So yeah, check us out on Stat Diggers tomorrow on Pub Sports Radio. I'll be going live with the Pub Sports Radio crew in about an hour and a half after I walk the dog and run a couple errands to watch all these fights today. And then you can find me on my YouTube channel, Uncle Wheezy. Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Central Time, I do a full card breakdown called Just the Tip. And you can also find me on the MMA Engine YouTube channel a couple days a week at least. And the flagship show that I'm doing over there is Probability with Brady on Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central Time. We give you a data-driven look into all the time props on every card. It's a great show. We're very proud of it. Check us out over there on the MMA Engine YouTube channel. And the only thing left to do, you guys, is to stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 56. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Narco, how about you? When they find you, and what do you have going on throughout the week?
Yeah, Narco Cop on Twitter, Narco Cop MMA on YouTube. I've been away from YouTube for a couple weeks with all the hectic stuff going on, but I will be on Spaces in about 5 minutes. Doing the watch party for this UFC Vegas 56. And I'm probably going to do a recap tomorrow at 12 p.m. on Spaces again. Yeah, thank you to everybody in chat, and thank you for hosting, Brady.
Sounds good. You can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the numbers. Go subscribe to Wheezy. His link is down in the description. Go subscribe to Narco as well. Check him out on Twitter. He does the spaces. And then also subscribe to the MMA Engine YouTube channel. Lots of content on there. I'll be back with Wheezy tomorrow night on Stat Diggers. And yeah, looking forward to this card. Looking forward to Nazarov. Looking forward to Karolina Kovakovic. By the way, good luck, Clint. Good luck, Clint, with your bet on Felice Herrig. Uncle Wheezy, I'm surprised you're not there, Wheezy, right now, trying to get into his house and beat him with some oranges.
Dude, I'm a true professional. The content comes first, Brady. Then my obligations outside of the content have to wait till after the content is done. But yeah, man, don't bet that fight. Please don't bet that fight, you guys.
Can't wait to see what happens. But yeah, guys, leave a like on your way out. Best of luck for UFC Vegas 56, and let's make some money, guys. See you.